Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
I was floored when I heard that a Good Samaritan took Officer Viscotta into his home to assist him.
San Antonio Police Chief William McManus saying thank you after a neighbor helped save the life of an officer shot in the line of duty. 2 officers were shot while responding to reports of a domestic dispute last week. Jonathan Cotto with the chief's reaction in his own words.
On behalf of the entire San Antonio Police Department, we thank you for your bravery and your heroism. I mean, somebody under fire right outside your house, for you to come out and pull that individual inside, pull that officer inside, that's bravery right there.
San Antonio Police Chief William McManus praising Joshua Rael, a Good Samaritan, for helping save the life of a police officer who had been shot during a domestic dispute call. McManus says both of the officers who were shot were first to arrive at the scene, both sustaining life-threatening injuries.
It was a very severe wound. He could have very easily bled out. And the timing, of course, is critical when you're bleeding. And Mr. Real came along just at the right time.
McManus says he was floored when he learned of Rael's selfless and life-saving actions.
I mean, I was taken back by that in a great way, and I have so much respect for Mr. Real that I can't even describe it.
Officer Santiago Vizcarra was taken to a nearby hospital.
I texted him 2 days ago, and he seems to be doing okay, on his way to recovery, thank goodness, and I think he's doing okay.
McManus also acknowledging Rael's wife and her efforts, and says a recognition is in the works. Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
By the way, we interviewed Rael and his wife last week. You can find that on KSAT.com. Let's take a look outside right now. Some people feeling pretty lucky today after some good rain. We saw it right here at the KSAT studio, Adam.
Yeah, it was nice to see some pockets of heavy rain, very fast moving, but overall decent coverage today. Not much on the radar screen to speak of at the moment. A few isolated showers out west in Uvalde County between Concan and Sabinal. These are all pretty short-lived. Not much in terms of activity at the moment, kind of like yesterday evening. Most of it was earlier in the day, and that's going to be the trend again going forward, especially into tomorrow. But you look at the last 12 hours, and you look at the rainfall accumulations, and we had some nice sweet spots within these rainfall streaks. Even parts of Bexar County seeing estimates close to a half an inch, between a third and a half an inch, and you get farther west of town, and you see these radar estimates near Medina Lake Reservoir of over an inch. So that's nice, but even more rainfall opportunities coming in the days ahead. In a few minutes, I'll break down our biggest opportunities along with the strong cold front. You're not going to feel it tonight. You're not going to feel it for several days, but you will feel it by Halloween. We'll get you prepared for that in just a bit.
All right. Thank you, Adam. A downtown hotel converted to a low-barrier shelter is the key to the city's plans for tackling homelessness. But a nearby daycare says they've already seen how this idea plays out.
And City Hall reporter Garrett Berger tells us what they're worried about happening again.
Outraged. That's the word that a letter from Discovery World Learning Center CEO Jason Howergy to San Antonio council members boils down to. The child care center serving infants to 12-year-olds is right next to the Holiday Inn, where the city plans to operate a 200-room, low-barrier homeless shelter, something he calls a grave oversight. It's the same hotel Haven for Hope operated for roughly 2.5 years to help with social distancing during the pandemic. During that time, Howergy says the child care center had daily challenges, including issues with trash, loitering, trespassing, and drugs. In the letter, he says Discovery World was sidelined from the decision-making process. The city's human services director admits they did not reach out to Discovery World about this, but also that they were surprised to hear about the concerns from when Haven had operated the hotel.
We had not heard those complaints from the child care center or really any of the other businesses around the Holiday Inn.
Sam Ministries, which operates the city's current low-barrier shelter, is going to operate this one too. They say they want to be good neighbors.
We're not allowing folks to run around with their hair on fire in this space, and we don't intend for that to be the case at the new project.
Being a low barrier shelter means people who aren't completely sober can stay there. Same for people with criminal backgrounds. But the new location's proximity to the child care center will mean sex offenders on active supervision cannot stay there. Sam Ministries says it hadn't been aware of the concerns until now, but they plan to talk with Discovery World about them.
We want to understand their concerns and what we can do to mitigate those concerns.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
A woman who is the alleged mastermind behind a murder-for-hire plot has had her capital murder charge dismissed. It's all part of a case we told you about yesterday. Cristina Rodriguez, along with her husband, Manuel Cantu, and brother-in-law John Cantu were all charged with capital murder after a man named Mike Perez was found fatally shot on the side of a Southside road in 2019. In September, John Cantu was found guilty of the lesser charge of murder and sentenced to 70 years in prison. It was during his trial that an eyewitness testified that Cristina Rodriguez, had orchestrated the whole plan to kill Perez and paid Cantu $500 to do it. Manuel Cantu, yesterday given an 8-year plea deal on the lesser charge of tampering with a human corpse, had his capital murder charge dismissed. Now, Cristina Rodriguez has also had her capital murder charge dismissed as well. She's facing no other charges, was actually released from jail. We reached out to the district attorney's office for a statement about the dismissals. This is what they said. Quote, "The law requires that our office prove each offense beyond a reasonable doubt. If sufficient evidence to meet this standard is not available, a case must be dismissed." End quote.
An Amazon delivery driver is recovering after he was attacked by a dog on the job. And today we're hearing from him. 22-year-old Jose Luis Rodriguez says he was an hour into his shift yesterday when this happened. He was delivering on McNary Street on the south side when a dog jumped over a fence to attack him. He says he was rushed to get emergency surgery on his chin and on his lip. Rodriguez hopes what happened to him is a lesson to dog owners.
Justice for me is to bring more people to be aware and to make us feel more safe. And, that's really what I want, is more people to be aware and for us to feel safe.
Animal Care Services says the American Staffordshire was euthanized today. They issued 4 criminal citations to the dog's owner.
In the state of Texas, you are allowed to choose what public school your child goes to, but that list can be overwhelming. It's why a lot of families turn to the San Antonio Charter Moms nonprofit. It's a self-described, non-biased information source. Yes, charter's in their name, but they promise to help with every kind of school: public, charter, private, magnet, even homeschooling. During the enrollment period from November to January or February, they hold a series of what are called school discovery days.
If you come to a school discovery day, you might get to meet 25, 30, 35 schools in one day. And they visit with every school table, ask questions, find out what's unique about that school's learning model.
The first school discovery day was this past Saturday, but there are 4 more from now until March. For more information on those events, you can head to KSAT.com.
Let's take a look at traffic out there right now. Some good news. We don't have any major problems to tell you about. 90 at Medio Creek here. You can see a little slow going in one direction, but traffic for the most part moving along pretty smoothly.
Early voting already underway for the November 7th election. This election, voters will see 14 propositions that will either create or change state funds. There will also be many other races, depending on what precinct you live in. To see a full list of voting locations and a sample ballot, you can scan this QR code on your screen. Early voting ends November 3rd.
Happening this weekend, the Dia de los Muertos Festival at Hemisphere Park. If you can't make it out in person, we'll be airing a special broadcast of all the festivities on November 1st right here at 8 p.m. You can watch it here on KSAT and all of our streaming platforms. Just scan this QR code you see right here on your screen to get tickets and to learn more about all the events.
After doing a report on bike lanes earlier this year, our KSAT Investigates team received complaint after complaint from San Antonio's cycling community on the state of riding here. So we decided to go for a ride. One group allowed KSAT to ride along as they showed us the issues they encounter around San Antonio every day. The city's transportation department said they are listening and working to address some of those concerns, including connecting more bike facilities to one another.
So that cyclists can go from one facility to the next without feeling a change or a difference in safety.
In just a few minutes, some of the immediate improvements being made to benefit San Antonio cyclists.
Also still ahead here on the news at 6, how the use of drones could impact organ transplantation and rural health care. Hear from a lung transplant recipient who says the use of drones could have changed his organ transplant process.
Calaveras aren't just the painted skulls you see every year. Calaveras can be written, and they are humorous and a poetic Day of the Dead tradition.
A calavera is written about someone who's still alive. To poke fun or to bring somebody down in the form of a pun or satirical piece of poetry. And it is usually written about someone who's prominent either in politics, in sports, in entertainment. Generally, they all die in the calavera. Not in reality, but figuratively. Calaveras are not written about people who are already dead, and that's because a person cannot defend themselves. It's cowardly, I think, to make fun of someone who has already died. So to write a good calavera, you strip that person down to the very essence. You pick out that quality that you either like or dislike, and then you write it in a form that makes fun of it, and that makes that person come alive for you and I.
A major obstacle for many patients in need of an organ transplant is distance. The distance between where they live and where the organ is coming from.
But as Max Massey shows us, drones could change that.
I am a two-time double lung transplant recipient, transplanted in 2007 and again in 2010. I'm blessed to still be here and be able to talk to you about it.
Tom Nate lives here in Texas, but he had to uproot his entire life, move to another state, just to improve the odds of getting an organ transplant.
When I look back on this technology, I'm fascinated by it. I've been reading about it for a couple of months, and that may have changed the whole trajectory of how I went through the process. Maybe not having to move, relocate to a town where you know nobody, don't know anything.
Where we're attempting to use drones for long-range and sustainable flights to support rural health care and to ultimately move to being able to deliver the gift of life to the patients that need it the most.
Using drones in the medical field, it's not new. In fact, this drone alone, it has flown more than 285,000 pieces of medical equipment across sub-Saharan Africa. But today, we're talking about the latest generation.
These drones are larger drones, but they still are in the same class as those little ones. So what that means is we can fly these beyond visual line of sight, meaning that this drone specifically can go about 100 miles and travel about 80 miles an hour and carry 12 pounds.
Moving organs, vaccinations, drugs, emergency kits, and essential life-saving care quickly.
We're talking about going from a rural critical access facility or from the medical complex here out to rural communities. That could be to a clinic, that could be to a fire station, a volunteer fire station, it could be to a school nurse.
All in an effort to save more lives. Lives like Tom's.
I see this as just a major breakthrough in helping a lot of people not have to do the long distance relocation stuff that I did.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
And now the drones still need to undergo more testing and get FAA approval before the program takes effect. As for the Texas Organ Sharing Alliance, the group is urgently asking for more people to become organ donors. You can learn how to do that right now on KSAT.com.
All right, unlike yesterday, the clouds did actually give us some rain, at least downtown, and kind of widespread through San Antonio, I think,
saw
today.
some good rain at my house. I felt pretty lucky.
Yeah, it wasn't continuous or persistent, but it's just what we need. And we're going to see a lot more of this in the days ahead. And actually, I think the rain's going to ramp up a little bit more a few times over the next 7 days. And we have a very strong cold front to talk about. But I like the promising rain chances, especially Wednesday night into Thursday, and then again Sunday night. And Sunday night, it's no coincidence that would be coming with the cold front. It says cold front Saturday night. That should say Sunday night. And then a chilly Halloween on the way. Take a look at our temperature trend. Mid-80s the rest of this week and through the weekend. And then check out Monday and Tuesday. We've got high temperatures in the lower 50s. Hello, cold front. So your Halloween headlines. As it stands right now, choose for the warmest costume option. Myra, we talked about this yesterday. Yes. You've gotten the ball rolling on this.
I have. Right? I have made some changes. I pivoted.
You pivoted.
Shall we say.
Pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Pivot. Yes, got to do that little pivot. Temperatures likely in the 40s during trick-or-treating time. And here's what we're going to watch for is the potential for rain. It's possible, but it's too early to tell if we'll actually have rain in our area during trick-or-treating time. I think odds are against it right now, but there's still that outlying chance that we have to keep an eye on. So check back in for the updates and more specifics in the days ahead. Looking at temperatures across the state, right around 80 degrees for most of us. We go off to the north, up into Canada. And it's nothing like what they see in the winter, but it's still October. And temperatures in the 20s right now for most of Canada. And you know you're waiting for it. My favorite city, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. 25 right now. That pool of cool air, that's pushing southward. It's going to make it here by Sunday night. During the day on Sunday, we're still warm. We're still humid. We're in the mid-80s. Sunday night it hits. Then that cool air is in place for Monday and Tuesday. In turn, the chilly Halloween. This was the view today since noon. Kind of nice to see those sporadic showers, and I think we'll see more of that basically for the next 7 days, but even enhanced odds of rain a few of those days. 1/1600ths of an inch officially at the airport in town today, but you see a nice stream of moisture basically up I-35 and especially just west of I-35 today. This is similar to what we saw yesterday when it was just over West Texas. Driving force, this big upper level low, this big disturbance over basically Arizona, but that big dip in the flow has given us a nice conveyor belt of upper energy, a bit of that dirty flow we talk about coming in off the Pacific, and some added moisture as well from the Pacific. And this will continue to slowly drift eastward, and then I think especially enhance our rain chances Wednesday night, and then again on into Sunday night with the upcoming cold front. Rainfall potential over the next 7 days. This is additional rainfall. We're talking 4 inches or more farther to the north of us. In the hill country, from now through this time next week, we could have another 2 to 4 inches in parts of the hill country, and an inch give or take, depending on where the heaviest rain sets up around San Antonio. We could see more than an inch, but I think on average closer to an inch over the next 7 days. I mentioned those periods of time. Wednesday night into Thursday, 40 to 60% chance then, and then again Sunday night into Monday with that cold front on the way. Dew point of 72 right now. We still have that sticky air. Dewey's in the lower 70s, all thanks to that stout wind off the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to be the rule again tomorrow. Southeasterly wind 15 to 20. It's going to reinforce our mugginess for several days. 73 in the morning tomorrow, 84 for the high temperature, low 80s in the hill country, mid 80s elsewhere, and just some isolated hit or miss showers coming and going throughout the day. Coming up next half hour at 6:45, we'll talk about the drought monitor and how much rain we've seen over parts of it.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Adam.
All right, I'm excited. This time tomorrow night, both Mary and I will be inside the Frostbank Center, the vault, the Frosty.
I'm excited to experience it for the first time. This is my first season. It's crazy. I'm so excited to see all of what the Spurs and Mavericks will have to offer as the two tip off tomorrow in the Alamo City. And hey, coming up after the break, Wemby is talking championships. Plus, Southside grad
I want to win as many titles as I can in the long run. I know it's not something easy to do. Many, and most players have their career and never get to even the finals or to win championship. But I know it's one of my biggest goals in life. So I know I'm gonna reach this one day or the other, and it's all I'm dedicating the next I don't know how many years in my life to risk this, and I'm ready to sacrifice anything.
The NBA regular season tips off today, and on the eve of the San Antonio Spurs home opener against the Mavericks, rookie Victor Wembanyama making it clear what his goals are as he embarks on his first NBA season. Now, Wemby is among the Spurs starting five that'll also feature Zach Collins, but Collins is listed as questionable for tomorrow's game with a non-COVID related illness. Now, more basketball news. The nonprofit organization San Antonio Sports announced plans today for the very first boys and girls high school basketball all-star games. The games will be shown exclusively on KSAT 12 and feature more than 100 players. RJ Marquez has the details.
Well, it's never too early to start thinking about March Madness, especially when it comes to showcasing some of the top basketball players across the city. And that will happen right here on March 24th at Northside Sports Gym for the inaugural San Antonio Sports High School Basketball All-Star Game. 120 of the city's top basketball players will compete in a full day of hoops right here. The day will include players from private schools all the way from 1A to 6A schools. There will be 4 games total, 2 boys and 2 girls games. There will also be a skills challenge and 3-point contest. Here's what some of the coaches involved had to say.
To start a tradition and to be a part of something brand new and to set the tone for the city of San Antonio, it's a great opportunity for them.
It's all for the kids. They get to play one more high school game in front of the city that they live in. Their friends and family, so it's just an awesome thing.
Every kid, dreams of playing on TV, right? There's not a kid in any gym in any city in the United States that doesn't want to have an opportunity to play on television, let his friends and family see him out there. I think it'll create an enormous buzz all over the city.
This gym will be packed on March 24th, and we're excited to be a big part of this historic high school event. KSAT 12 will broadcast all of these games live on KSAT 12, KSAT.com, and KSAT Plus. Tickets go on sale in late January. Back to you.
So cool. Thank you, RJ. Now, over the weekend, Southside High School alum and current Incarnate Word quarterback Richard Torres put forth an inspiring performance in UIW's come-from-behind win. The San Antonio native started the second half for the Cardinals, fighting a 24-7 deficit, and went on to lead 4 touchdown drives to win the game 35-24. Not an easy situation to be thrown into.
It was either going to be me or Stubb, and it was just, I just knew I had to be a good teammate. At the end of the day, I just knew I had to be a good teammate, whether I was starting or 9. So, because the guys, they feed off our energy, the quarterback room. So, I think if I were to go out there with my head down and, maybe a little sad about me not starting, I think that wouldn't have been good for the team. I wouldn't have had the half I had, and we wouldn't have won.
The FCS recognized Torres as the freshman player of the week after his 4-touchdown outing. UIW is now 6-1.
And good for local product.
Yes, local product. Love to see it. Round of applause.
Yeah. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. Still to come here after the break, a local bicycle group is showing our KSAT Investigates team where the problems are when it comes to the city's bike lanes. What improvements the city plans to make to keep San Antonio cyclists safe. We take you along for the ride next.